I don't use any cold emails, any ads, or any cold DMs. So you may ask, how do you even get clients? Over 80% of my revenue comes from warm DMs. Because I know the game. I started my journey as an appointment setter for a multiple 7-figure business. And I've booked hundreds of appointments that are worth more than 7 figures. Then I built a multi 5-figure business just from X. And I've been using my 4-step DM framework since day one, which I'm about to share with you right now. In fact, one of my clients, Michael, used this exact DM framework to close 2.5k of deals in the first week of using it. So if you want to book sales calls in the DMs without being cringe, without pushing people away, or without losing your friends, keep watching. But why did I say book sales calls? Because I see a misbelief going around nowadays. So I see a lot of big gurus pushing the no sales calls thing lately. But if you are under 10-20k a month and if you are not an established business, this can actually kill your business. But if you are currently trying to grow your business, sales calls are your best friend because they provide higher conversion rates, better audience understanding, building more trust, and getting direct feedback loop. So what should be your thought process when you are in the DMs? You need to become a helpful peer instead of a salesperson first. Think of yourself as a friend who is ahead of them and wants to help them. You are not pushing them, you are just helping people who are already in need of help. This approach will change your natural attitude in the conversation and will help you position yourself as a helpful person. Now let's dive into my 4-step DM framework. So the first step is creating context and familiarity. And there are 2 goals for that. First is getting high response rates and the second is creating context and familiarity with the prospect from the start. And most cold DMs feel like spam because they simply don't build the context and familiarity with the prospect. And in this step, we accomplish these 2 goals with these 3 steps. First one is giving clear reason for reaching out. Like you can mention how you found their profile, or you can mention what you liked about their content or about their profile. Then you should mention something personal. Just take your time to look at their content and profile to find something relevant about them. Then you should ask something relevant to start the conversation. You can ask about what you noticed about them in the second step. The goal isn't to sell yet, it's just to start the conversation and build a strong connection. By building context and familiarity from the start, you bypass these defense mechanisms and you actually start building comfort with the prospect. Step 2 is finding a gap. Most people make the mistake of just jumping right into the solution, but first we have to understand their problems and find the gap. And we have to know a couple of things for that. First, we have to know where they are right now, and then where they want to go, and then what's stopping them from getting there. For example, they are at 2k and they want to get to 10k. In order to do that, they need more clients. The gap between their current situation and their desired situation is our opportunity to help them. This is the most important part of the process because if you can't find a gap in their process, why would the prospect would jump on a call with you to get your help? Step 3 is building curiosity. But before building the curiosity, we have to ensure that we actually find a gap that's painful and urgent. Once you understand their situation, don't just dump information on them. Instead, share some relevant results, hint your solution, and actually let them ask for more. For example, you can share relevant client results or case studies, or you can talk about your solution on a higher level to create more curiosity. And then you can read the room to understand that if they are interested to learn more or not. Because remember, the goal here is to make them curious enough to jump on a call, not explain your whole system. And step 4 is the call transition. The final step is to make them feel like the call is their idea. But don't drop your calendar directly. First, start by collecting micro commitments so that they'll also say yes to your call invitation. First, start by asking if they have time to discuss this. You don't need to hard sell here. If you've done the previous steps correctly, this step will feel natural. For example, you can ask if they have time or if they are open to discuss this more. If the answer is yes to these 2 questions, then you can send your calendar link to book the call. Once they book the call, you should confirm the call right then and there. You can say thanks for booking the call and if they get the invite for the call. The last step is sending them valuable resources to make sure they are warmed up for the call. For example, you can send case studies or videos or your lead magnets so that they can read it and get the call more educated about your solution. So now you got the whole 4-step DM framework. But now I want to give you 2 more tactics about warm DMs. So the first tactic is how you can keep the conversation engaging. So every message should validate what they are saying and then provide some value. and then ask a relevant question to guide the conversation forward. This creates natural flow instead of feeling like an interrogation. Think about how you would talk to your friends. You wouldn't ask them questions back to back without also telling about your opinion. And my second tactic is about follow-ups, because most opportunities are actually lost in the follow-ups. But here is the thing, there's a fine line between persistent and annoying. That's why you need a system to follow up. You need a system that times follow-ups, creates natural urgency, keeps things casual, and knows when to move on. And make sure you read the room. I like to keep the follow-ups casual, not to look try-hard. For example, instead of sending long paragraphs, sometimes I would just send a question mark because that's how I actually text my friends. Because remember, no amount of perfect follow-up can re-engage an uninterested lead. Now you can take everything I've shared here to start booking more calls with your dream clients. But first, you should start attracting attention by creating good posts, having a decent profile, and actually building a decent sized audience. Otherwise, your prospects may not care about you enough to actually open your message or respond to you. And I can't explain how to do all of that in this video. But I've created a free course on how to build your personal brand on Twitter, creating content that attracts the right people, and actually booking out of sales calls with them. If you want to fast track your results and get my complete system, you can click the video on the screen to watch the full course. Also, if you found this video helpful, make sure you like and subscribe to get more content on how you can grow your business, and see you on the next video. Bye.